in Studying and Processing Industry, the CEO of Finalising Lab. And I want to request you to please give us a photo opportunity with our performance on Skill 3 photo opportunity. Before we continue with the ceremony. May I request the Honourable Minister Members after Mr. Bhagar is finished. Vice President GPC President Huseyin Arslan.
Nutrition and precision are the cornerstones of our enterprise. All our products are manufactured with care and precision.
Participants from all over the world, ladies and gentlemen, I'm indeed delighted to address you this morning at Pulses 18, the future of food, which is another event in the annual Global Pulse Confederation series, and I warmly welcome you to our beautiful country, Sri Lanka. I would like to thank the Global Pulse Confederation and the organizers of this event for arranging this event in Colombo. I understand that the Global Pulse Confederation is the sole international confederation for the pulses industry, represents over 20 national associations and over 600 private sector members, and is working as a non-profit organization representing all segments of this industry value chain. In Sri Lanka, pulses are a main source of protein, mainly as red lentils are known by every Sri Lankan. Over the years, Sri Lankans have also been used to consume locally grown pulses like green mung beans, cowpea, black gram and chickpeas, yellow split peas, Ghana dal in our stable diets. The reasons for these products to be vastly popular in the Sri Lankan kitchens is their good taste, their ease of cooking, and small quantity of pulses can be shared within many members of the family. Though Sri Lanka plays a sizable role in the pulse industry as an instrumental consumer, our contribution is in a very low percentage as producers. Sri Lanka's consumption of red lentils is around 150,000 metric tons. We import around 18,000 metric tons of chickpeas, 25,000 metric tons of yellow split peas, 16,000 metric tons of mung beans, and another 18,000 metric tons of medpay or urid dal annually. However, our local production is confined only to mung beans and medpay of urid dal, which is around 1,000 metric tons altogether. Red lentil is a major food item in Sri Lanka's daily food intake. They are also a major item among our principal food commodity imports. In 2016, we imported more than 154,000 metric tons of red lentils, which was around 7% of the total tonnage of our principal food commodity imports of that year. Pulses are proven to contain high nutritional value and can be a solution for the hunger and malnutrition. Looking at the current situation, we foresee that pulses have the greatest potential to help eradicate hunger. Pulses offer a healthier and more environmentally sustainable alternative to other sources of protein. It is the time for the pulse importers to join hands with Sri Lanka Ministry of Industry and Ministry of Health, Ministry of Agriculture and other partner organizations to launch more and more awareness programs to increase the awareness of benefits of pulse consumption. I am confident that Sri Lanka's pulse importers and the industry can receive the support of the Global Pulse Confederation to develop the sector here and create benefits to all stakeholders. Before I conclude, I wish to thank President of Global Pulses Confederation, Mr. Huseyin Arslan, and their board members for conducting this event in Sri Lanka, which is an honor for us. I also wish to mention and thank Mr. Mahmood of our Sri Lankan Pulses Dan. Always he continuously reminded me about today's event whenever I meet you. Finally, wishing great success for all participants of this event. I also wish you a pleasant day. Thank you.
And friendship from the Global Pulses Conclave to Sri Lanka. Thank you, Honorable Minister. I'd like to request Mr. Huseyin Arslan.
So I would like to thank all of these people. Thank you for it. So why we came to Colombo? While I was sitting there, I started to remember, and I was talking to Salim. I said, Salim, before, if you wouldn't see the Jodia Bazaar in Pakistan, if you wouldn't walk into the Nariman Point, and if you didn't visit the Colombo, you wouldn't be called a pulse trader in the world. So unfortunately, in these days, people with internet, this and that, they are calling themselves the pulse trader. They never been to Colombo, they never been to Jodia Bazaar, they never been to Nariman Point. Although these places are changed, these places, names are still important. Even if there is no pulse trader today in Nariman Point, but you should go and visit there to have the soul of the pulses in the past. So without being on these places, it is impossible to talk about the pulse and trade and to understand the people. If you are doing the lentil business, unfortunately you should come to Colombo. First time I am right on first press. So what issues pulse sector is facing? You are living on those things. So I don't want to raise your high blood pressure again. But it is better to talk about what we did here in this past 4 years. My secretary forgot to put, in 2016 we had very important thing. What was that? International Year of Pulses. So, International Year of Pulses is great success of GPC. It is not that the United Nations woke up in the morning and decided to have an International Year of Pulses. This association worked with, had sweat and tears about this, and 3-4 years after we had successfully implemented International Year of Pulses. And then we are today making a lobby in working every country and every government to announce the World Pulse Day, and we are having their support. And then Global Pulse Contract, this is also important. It is important for us. And the other subject is PulsePod. PulsePod is our magazine. I will come one by one on these points. So if you look at the changing the dynamics, you know, things are changing in the pulse sectors. the government interventions are really seriously affecting our decisions. We cannot decide today with the market fundamentals. Market fundamentals are changing, but also you have to estimate the government policies, especially when you consider these changes of the government policies is coming from India. India is consuming 1/3 of the pulses in the world. So when they change something, it is normal that if they 33% of the consumption in one point is changing the regulations without announcing, without notifying, and waking up in the morning, some people get bankrupt, some people get rich. This is not fair, and this we cannot handle. So these are the changing the dynamics. So what will be the result of this? As you see now on this figure, you will start to see what will be going on in the world. This will reduce the production. Like we have here friends from Ukraine. Where are the Ukrainians? They are sleeping. Okay, we have one. So Ukraine is reducing the production, and other countries also they are reducing the production rates, like in Russia, and also in Canada also we see the reductions in production. So when you see all this number, this is just start. So when people they lose, and they get not only losing the money, because they don't have a forecast in their hand, they have the product, they don't know where to send it. So they have to see the future to plan the farmers. When the farmer plans, that means there is a market for this. So to raise these questions in the world, what we are doing very important thing today. We will do in Colombo. This decision is very important decision. It is like in WTO, they call Uruguay round. We call it Colombo Accord. So from now on, in pulse industry and in GPC, when I first initiated Global Pulse Confederation GPC contract, I also underlined that everybody will use it. Now today, most of the industry, I'm glad to say that using Global Pulse contract. And from now on, when they want to talk about fair trade and liberal economic conditions, people will talk about impulses about Colombo Accord. So Colombo Accord in its meaning means free trade and fair trade. So what we see is that the main components of the Colombo Accord will be, we want to unify the pulse industry in common idea. We want scientific-based plant quarantine regulations. We don't want to wake up in the morning to have 60% tax on import duty, making, as I mentioned before, some people rich and making some people poor. They got bankrupt in reality, they are bankrupting. So we don't want to wake up in this environment. So what we are going to do with this, we will unify the global industry, and then when we unify it, every association, we have 25 national associations in our hand. When I was in India, in IPGA conclave meeting, we had a round table. On the table, you know which countries was sitting next to each other. Russia embassy, Ukrainian embassy, Canadian embassy. They were all together, and from other countries like Australia, Ethiopia, Kenya, we were all together to take some decisions. What was the decision in a meaning? It was meaning the Colombo Accord. We brought all these countries together. So all national association, we have 25 member association, and it will be more and more. We will give this Colombo Accord in their hand. We say, look, this is our constitutional, this is like a constitution of the pulses. You have to insist your government to go to the World Trade Organization to talk about anything against this Colombo Accord. These are the components of the Colombo Accord. We have a panel today. After panel discussions, we will bring a final report to our industry, and we will invite all our national associations to sign it. So this is the Colombo Accord, and we will unify the pulse industry against all odds. So what we did for the support of Pulse Day. This World Pulse Day is important. I went to the Burkina Faso. This is the Burkina Faso president. The Burkina Faso government is supporting this initiation at the United Nations level, and this year they will bring the proposal. President told me that Burkina Faso will enforce this decision. World Pulse Day decision is supported by all the member nations that we have in global pulse confederations. Australia is supporting, Canada is supporting, USA is supporting, Turkey is supporting, Pakistan supporting, India is also supporting, and we are expecting Sri Lanka also to support this idea of the World Pulse Day. And this, during that day, thanks to the President of Burkina, he made a big show with more than 50,000 people. And we celebrated the World Pulse Day in Burkina Faso. And I am sure we will go forward to make it official. Today, because it is not announced by the United Nations, we call it Global Pulse Day. But after the announcement, we will make it World Pulse Day, and hopefully this will pass through with the support of all nations that represented in our Global Pulse Confederation. So what another step we did about our industry problem. Because of all these government decisions, we started to have big problem in our industry. People that would never consider to default on the contract, they started to default. And so many bankruptcies in destinations and in origins also. So in order to bring this in solution, we work with GAFTA about changing the GAFTA contract, but keeping the mainframe. We gathered together with our industry member, we made a one contract for you, tailor-dressed. So you can use it. From now on, somebody defaults and they are sending me, Mr. President, President of Global Pulse Confederation, such and such company is defaulted to me and they are not honoring the contract, what you can do? If you want this to be replied, you should use GPC contract. If you don't use GPC contract, please don't send me any emails. You don't need to. I can't do anything. My hand is tied. So for this contract also we have session today that we will talk about, and Andrew Jacobs is going to handle this. Is Andrew here? Oh, always there. Bravo. Thank you, Andrew. So this is important that you listen, Andrew. Andrew also invited me on the stage for this, but I don't know why. I will try to help to Andrew because he is already expert. So another thing, important thing that I want to mention about our industry is we have a magazine which is called Pulse Pod. So why the Pulse Pod is and first time I'm mentioning in my speech about the Pulse Pod. I was ashamed of myself. We have a magazine. I ask in my company, 80% of my company doesn't know about Pulse Pod. In my own company. So I said, there is something wrong with you, Huseyin. You have to think about this and bring the solution. Now, we brought this into the picture. We will make people aware that there is such a thing is going on. This is a electronic news magazine that I suggest all our members to read it. We will have interesting articles from now on, and Chandrasekhar is taking care of this as editing, but anyone likes to send the views and articles, welcomes. I want an article from Mufaddal Saif from next magazine, from Egypt. You are Sri Lankan actually, no? Ah, okay. So this you should, I am expecting one article from you, Saif, for the next one. Anyone, any volunteer for the next article? Okay, I get your names later. Thank you. So, during my presidential speeches, I was thinking what to say during your presidency, you know, it's like motto, this and that. One of the things that I like to end my speech is this picture. What is it written there underneath? I say in all my speeches, probably you are there but you are not listening me always, it is, we need to produce in the next 40 years the equivalent of the food that we produced in the last 10,000 years. Look at the numbers. So, and this picture on the above is real. Real picture, it's not a photo montage. This picture is taken in Saskatchewan, Canada. Anyone from Saskatchewan? Oh, they are sitting behind. Farmers are hiding. They're behind. There is a story behind of this picture. One farmer passed away, and then other neighbor farmers, they come together because in very short period of time they have to collect the product, harvest it. So all the neighbors bring their combine and they do the job in 2 days. And this picture is solidarity, and the thing under this slogan is a warning to the governments. Don't play with the value chain. Today it can make you happy and it's not making them happy too, but this can bring your end too. We need to produce. Any behavior affecting this chain is going to have poisonous effect in our industry. So I think I finished my talks 5 minutes earlier than expected. Generally I am above 5 minutes. So I would like to thank very much to all of you that listening me.